Live from Lexington, this is Fox 56 News. Now, breaking news.
Good evening and thanks for joining us. Cities across the country on high alert tonight as new video of 5 Memphis police officers brutally beating a young man after a traffic stop was released just hours ago.
It is absolutely devastating video, and before we show you that video, we do want to warn you that it may be difficult to watch. Now in it you see Tyree Nichols being pulled out of his car and held to the ground by several officers. They're seen taking turns punching, kicking, and pepper spraying him for 3 minutes. Nichols is heard calling out for his mother, pleading with officers to stop as they yelled and cussed at him. 5 of those officers have since been fired by the Memphis Police Department, now facing second-degree murder charges for their actions. Earlier today, Tyree's mother sharing a message for her son's killers.
I want to say to the 5 police officers that murdered my son, you also disgraced your own families.
The Nichols family and their attorneys called for peaceful protests ahead of the video's release. Such protests are taking place right now in Memphis, Washington, D.C., and San Francisco. Protests are expected to continue across the country throughout the weekend.
People in Kentucky are also sickened by the video, and many are wondering how to respond.
Georgia MacArthur spoke to a community activist who was weighing in on the devastating video.
It is sickening.
Turning now to weather, where slick and icy conditions did get better throughout the day thanks to the sun that will be sticking around to kick off the weekend.
But it's not all good news. Rain will come back. For more on that, let's check in with meteorologist Justin Esterly.
Hey, good evening. We started off this evening.
Thank you. Today marks 6 months since devastating floods swept through eastern Kentucky. Thousands losing their homes, more than 40 Kentuckians killed.
Recovery efforts in the region are well underway, but as Tyler Melito found out, there's still a lot of work to do. The other suspect is.
A Somerset man is behind bars tonight in connection to a shooting in Pulaski County. 48-year-old Sonny Powell was arrested in Illinois. He's charged with first-degree domestic violence. This after Somerset native Natasha Robinson showed up to the hospital with gunshot wounds. Police are still searching for a motive. Powell will be extradited back to Kentucky. Political candidates in Kentucky may have to change their strategy to attract voters. Secretary of State Michael Adams saying for the first time ever, more than 10% of Kentucky voters are not Republican or Democrat, but registered under other political affiliations. Adams says candidates for statewide office should take note and reach out beyond their base to court the fast-growing group. When a violent crime takes place in Lexington, the community knows it will see a familiar face from the city's crisis response and prevention program, One Lexington.
Danielle Miskell reports on a new face joining in the fight to help a community heal serious felonies.
A new University of Kentucky study is looking at how students reacted to remote learning during the COVID-19 pandemic.
Still ahead, hear what more than 10,000 students had to say about the good and the bad of staying at home.